So, so we are reading Zero Limits by Joe Vitale and Dr. Hugh Lin. We are on chapter 6, I Love You, page number 53.
Page 51 of the PDF. I love you. You cannot be denied anything that is perfect, whole, complete, and right for you when you are yourself first.
Shimangla, your voice is not clear.
I love you. You cannot be denied anything that is perfect, whole, complete, and right for you when you are yourself first. Being yourself first, you automatically experience perfection in the way of divine thoughts, words, deeds, and actions. Allowing your toxic thoughts to be first, you automatically experience imperfection in the way of disease, confusion, resentment, depression, judgment, and poverty.
So what is he saying over here? That when you are perfect, when you're perfectly aligned with divinity, then everything in your life is perfect. When you allow the imperfect thoughts to come in, and if you see all these things, right? Disease, confusion, resentment, depression, judgment, poverty, all of them will put you onto the left side of the grid. So when we are in perfection, when we are in attunement with divinity, we are always on the right side of the grid. Whenever we get on the left side of the grid, that is when all our problems start to manifest in our lives. So watching our thoughts becomes extremely important if we want to keep our connection with that divine connection that is actually within us. Because of our free will and the wrong application of our free will is that we we cover up that beautiful divinity that is within us, that perfection that is within us, by saying and doing stuff, thinking stuff, which puts us on the left side of the grid.
It means, Bhaiya, you have to always think in the right manner.
That's it. So you have to keep observing your thoughts. Where are your thoughts putting you? Where are your thoughts taking you? What is the state of consciousness you are operating from? And always be in an uplifting state of consciousness. The moment you start doing that, that is when you connect with divinity. Anything that depletes you, it's not a win-win, because we are a part of the whole. Now, if I'm going to hurt someone else and I'm a part of the whole and that person is also a part of the whole, then I'm technically hurting myself. So we have to get clarity within our thoughts. We have to clear our thoughts. And because all action is the resultant of a thought. So if we can monitor and watch our thoughts, automatically we can put ourselves on the right side of the grid all the time. At least we become aware of it, right? And as it becomes a muscle memory, then automatically you're going to be starting to operate on the right side of the grid.
I absorbed Dr. Hewlin's message as best I could, but there was so much more I wanted and needed to learn. I've always been good at being a sponge and getting the ideas by just allowing myself to be open to them. As I sat in this first event, I began to feel that my sole job in life is to say, I love you, to anything that came my way, whether I saw it as good or bad. The more I could dissolve the limiting programs I saw or felt, the more I could achieve the state of zero limits and bring peace to the planet through me.
So this is a really beautiful paragraph. If you see, I have always been good at being a sponge and getting the idea by just allowing myself to be open to them. So now what is he saying over here? That I have my memories that I operate from, but when I'm receiving a new idea, I allow it to seep into me without being blocked by my preconceived notions or my previous belief systems. By allowing that, I open myself to new experiences. Number one. Now, whatever is coming in, whether according to my belief systems, they are good or bad, depleting or uplifting, whatever is coming in, I say, I love you. Why? Because if it is coming into my experience, then it is meant to be in my experience. And I love whatever is coming into my experience because it is a part of my experience. Okay. Now, as soon as I start doing that and I keep clearing whatever is coming into my awareness and perception, automatically, once I start clearing it, I become closer and closer and closer and closer to that state that we call zero, where I have transcended memory. I have transcended everything. I am just am. I just am. Okay. So that totally brings me into that divine connection that we've been talking about.
Mark had a little more trouble grasping the message of the seminar. He kept wanting to put it into a logical framework. It was becoming clear to me that the mind doesn't have any idea what is going on. So trying to find a logical explanation was in itself a recipe for failure.
So over here now, what is he saying here, right? Now today, if we want to operate out of logic, logic always operates out of memory. And what we are talking about here in this process is beyond memory, because memory has no concept of this. Okay, so it is very difficult to really put it into a logical way of understanding. Now I think we are all blessed over here because of all the processes that we've been going through, that we are able to put it into a logical connotation. But having said that, if you talk about it to anyone, they will think that you are illogical, because the basic concept, the raw concept of the entire process is that you are responsible, and by cleaning yourself, you will clean the other person. This, for a logical mind or a normal scientific mind, they are not going to get it. Okay. So it is beyond logic for most people. We have to understand that. And the biggest mistake that I have seen people who are using Ho'oponopono make is that they start attempting to heal the other person rather than clear themselves. And the entire Ho'oponopono process is only to deal with yourself. It is not to deal with the other person or the other situation. It is to deal with how things are occurring to you and clear that. Once you clear that, then automatically everything gets clear. Yes, Kavita Didi?
Yeah, so Nikit, yesterday
Yeah.
we read that when that NASA ka rocket was not working,
Yeah.
so if I remember right, check me if I'm wrong, I think it read saying that he had sent healing energies or cleaning energies to the rocket, if I remember right.
No. He said that I cleared what was occurring to me regarding the rocket because that other person had brought it to his awareness. Now, by clearing the rocket in his field, the rocket automatically got cleared.
So whatever comes in your field, you clear that thing.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So you keep you hold that thing in your field and then you clear it.
Right. So now what is the process? If you really see, if anything is occurring in your field and it is causing an imbalance or a tremor in your field, okay, you are saying, please forgive me. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Right. Now, if I ask for forgiveness from someone, if that person is forgiving me, then it automatically clears up space in my field.
Exactly.
Right? And then I'm saying, I love you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love you connects me to divinity. So the space that is created by saying, I am sorry, please forgive me, is filled up by divinity. So I clear my field. Nothing remains empty. You understand? If I'm clearing something else will take its space. so that I love you takes the space.
Exactly. Yeah. Which
Right.
resonates at a
At-
higher frequency.
which is resonating at a higher
Yeah.
frequency. And then what am I doing? I'm saying thank you.
Thank you. Again, which is gratitude.
you
Again, which is at
getting
a high
the-
frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
You get the gradation
Mhm.
of the 4 statements.
Yeah.
Now, just by saying I am sorry,
No, it cannot be
It-
mechanically.
it will work. It will
Yeah,
work
yeah.
because the words have certain field. It has a certain frequency. But when you do it with understanding and you do it with feeling, that is when it will work even better for you. You get the drift
Okay.
of what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Yeah. 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 Thank you.
Bhaiya, that means we.
One second. Anju had a hand up first. Anju, go ahead.
Yeah. Miss Kavita Kavita Didi asked it. Bhaiya.
Okay, great. Mukul Bhabi.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share something that happened yesterday.
Go ahead.
Thought of someone and I could feel what that person is feeling, and
Mhm.
immediately in my aura, which I could imagine, automatically it came as an oval around me.
Yeah.
I felt a little ball somewhere stuck, a little
Correct.
patch,
Yeah.
and I started doing Ho'oponopono,
Mhm.
just concentrating on that patch, and I saw it gradually reducing, and it vanished.
Correct.
After a point, I was trying to do Ho'oponopono, trying to look at
Again, trying.
Sorry, I looked for the patch, and it wasn't there.
Wonderful.
Beautiful, yeah.
Bhaiya,
it's
this Bhaiya, what you said to say 4 statements, not Ho'oponopono. It's a name of the process.
Ho'oponopono is the name of the process.
But
And the 4
but
statements
everybody
are-
needs to.
The 4 statements are: I am sorry, please forgive
Please
me,
forgive me.
I love you, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Rituji.
You've already cleared. That means I love you doesn't come first. It comes at the third, as I say I love
Having
you.
said that, once you get the concept, you can say it ulta
Yeah,
pulta
whenever.
also. But the
Niket,
structure,
I say first.
Well, one
I say I
second.
love you
The-
first.
the structure is this, and he's very clearly said it in the last chapter. He said it pretty clearly that today, if there's a tremor, you can say I love you and then say I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you. Okay. But the structure is that there is a tremor in your field, or you come into awareness of something in your field. You say, I am sorry for creating that, because if it is coming in your field, whatever is coming into your awareness, you
Yeah.
are the creator of it, right? So you are saying, I am sorry for creating this. Please
Yeah.
forgive me. And I love you. Whatever is there, I love divinity. I love everything. I am a part of everything. I love everything. So please take up this space, and thank you for doing that. Okay, so that's the structure. Now you can mix and match. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yes.
Mine
Yeah,
was
go
also
ahead.
the same thing, because when she had given us the talk some months back when we had it, she had said the order of I love you first and then the rest of it.
Okay, so
And
if you
even in the chanting where they have
Yes.
on the internet
Hmm,
of Ho'oponopono, they
Yeah.
always say I love you first.
I
and then-
understand. Okay. So now over here, he says over here in page 47, I'm reading it from here.
Okay.
In the ancient Hawaiian healing process of Ho'oponopono, the individual petitions love to rectify errors within himself. We are petitioning. So you could say, I love you first also. Okay.
Okay.
You say, I am sorry. Please forgive me for whatever is going on inside of me that manifests as a problem. So I am saying sorry to what is causing a tremor or a problem in me. Okay.
Hmm.
Love's responsibility then is to transmute the errors within him that manifests the problem. So you could say, I love you first also, and then say, I am sorry, forgive me, and thank you. Or you could say that, okay, this has come into my awareness. I am sorry for creating this. Please forgive me for creating it. Please take care of it. And I am thank you and filled with gratitude that you are taking care of it for me. Right. So you can change it around, but this was a structure that he gave here. That's why I was talking about that particular structure.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Asha aunty, you want to say something?
Do you take one patient at a time? I mean, when one is all right, then you take the next one?
Okay, the
Or you-
basic concept that you're talking about a patient is a problem. Because in Ho'oponopono, you're not treating the other person. You
Other
are
person.
treating what is occurring to you in your field and you're clearing your field. You're not treating the other person.
Right, but that's one at a time, then only we can do
Yeah,
it.
you
Isn't
could do one at a time. You could do group healing also. What is there to stop you? Now, let us say we are doing biofield tuning, right? So how is biofield tuning working? When I'm using the forks and going through the field, okay, it's a holographic field. What is occurring in my field in relationship to that thing that I'm wanting to observe is what we are observing. Now, if there is a block there, we are having a conversation that, okay, this is the block. Now, what do I do about this? All with a feeling of gratitude, of love. And once an understanding happens, the block, Anjali, you're getting unmuted. Anjali, you're getting unmuted all the time. So once the understanding of what is happening occurs to us, the problem will automatically get sorted out. So the field clears, right? Now, when we look at manifestation, everything first is created in the etheric world, in the subtle world, and then it comes into the physical world. So if I'm clearing it in the field, automatically the physical thing also will get cleared. So that's the game that we are actually playing. Does that answer your question, Auntie? Asha, Auntie?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Aisha, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I was just thinking that I think the order doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah,
It's
it
what
really-
comes to you in your gut at that moment. Because I know that when I say it, thank you always comes last. But
Yeah.
the others come in, whatever I feel at that moment, I need to say first.
Correct.
So,
So it can work like that.
yeah,
But the
this
basic
makes sense.
structure
Yes,
is
this makes
that
sense. I'm
First, I
sorry, please
observe there's
forgive me.
there's a tremor. So I say sorry for causing the tremor. Okay. And then
Yeah.
I say, please forgive me. And then I petition divinity that, I have created this problem. Now, please help me sort it out. And thank you for helping me sort it
Yeah,
out.
this makes
Okay.
actually very logical sense.
So
Yeah.
this is what is put over here in the book.
Yeah. I've been saying I love you first mainly, but I
Perfectly
just
all
makes
right.
sense.
It's absolutely all right. No harm in it. You can say I love you twice also. Who's stopping you?
Yeah, that's true. Why not? It's a good thing. Thank you.
Just don't go around telling it to everyone, huh? Chaliye. Dipali, you have something to say?
Niket, but
Yeah.
I just had a little query, or maybe it will come further. Like, I remember when he says that I used to put my hand on every file and individually ask forgiveness from divinity for each person separately.
Correct.
आपको याद है? So
Hmm.
Dr. Hewlin, so doing it together, I don't know, होगा नहीं होगा.
1 second. When you do a group healing, you're not doing it specifically, right? You're taking the whole thing in one shot. So if you are powerful enough, everything will get cleared off in one shot.
So you will say basically all the experiences here, which may not be in my consciousness, but which I'm responsible for over here, I ask for forgiveness for those, whatever. You follow the process. but
All
you put
those
it all
files
together in
all those files were on his table.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
So he was aware of all the files.
तो एक फाइल पढ़ते थे, फिर वो करते थे, फिर
Arey
अगली
Baba,
करते थे.
listen to me. Weren't all the files on his table?
हाँ हाँ.
The files were all with him, right? So he knew that those files were there.
बिल्कुल.
Now, if he knew the files were there, wasn't he aware of it?
Yeah.
So now what was he, if he wanted to do a group healing, he could have said that whatever tremors being created by all these files, I have created it. Why the files
Yeah,
have come to him, so he has created it. Now he cleans everything in one shot.
वो तो मुझे समझ आ गई, वो तो मुझे बात समझ आ गई, but what he did was not in one shot. What he has.
He did it one at a time, but
that's what
I
he
was
did.
equating individual
Yeah.
biofield tuning with group biofield tuning. So many people actually feel a shift in group biofield tuning also.
Also,
In
yes,
fact,
yes,
let
of
me tell
course.
you, there are umpteen number of sessions, group biofield tunings going on, where people are paying $50 each to attend the group biofield tuning. Are you
Yeah, I'm not
understanding?
denying that.
So if
Because
so the point is that in this case, he had taken each file, read it, and then
Absolutely, yeah.
cleared himself of the file. But it is
Yeah,
possible to do group tuning on group
Together, okay.
clearing also. Okay.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah.
यही से है शर्मिला. You're muted.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Dr. Hewlin repeatedly stressed that there are 15 bits available to the conscious mind, but 15 million bits happening in any one moment. We don't have a chance of understanding all the elements at play in our lives. We must let go. We must trust.
So, yeah. So what does this imply, right? Now, there are 40 million bits of information coming into our system. He's saying 15 and I'm saying 40. The 40 is the number. So 40 million bits of information is coming through our sensory perception into our system. Okay. But we are consciously aware of only 40 bits of information from that. And our entire conscious judgment, conscious action is dependent only on that 40 bits of information, and 40 million bits, 39 million, whatever figure, less 40 million less 40 is all inside the system, right? So now where is that? That is where we can connect into our inspiration. That is in our subconscious. Our subconscious has figured out everything. Okay. Now, how can we trust 40 bits of information when we are actually getting 40 million bits of information? So very clearly he says that we actually don't know what is going on in our lives. We have to trust, and to trust, you need to let go. You have to allow things to happen rather than attempting to make them happen all the time. But what are we doing? We are attempting to make it happen all the time. Yes, I was doing a tuning for a young gentleman yesterday. For him to become consciously aware of what he needs to do is very, very important. But after a certain point, you need to transcend that and allow muscle memory to take over, and then allow things to happen by letting go. So this is true for any batsman also. When the ball is coming at him at 200 or 400 miles an hour, he doesn't have the time to think as to what shot he's going to hit. It has to come from a reflex. And where will the reflex come from? When you've let go, you trust your body to do whatever it needs to do at that particular point in time. You can't think and do it. Okay, so this is what he's saying over here. We need to trust and we need to let go. We need to allow things to happen.
I admit that much of this was sounding insane. At one point in the event, a gentleman said he saw a portal open in a wall and dead people float through it. Do you know why you are seeing that? Dr. Hewlin asked. Because we had talked about spirits earlier, someone said. Exactly. Dr. Hewlin acknowledged. You attracted them by talking about them. You don't want to look into other worlds. You have enough to do to stay in this moment in this world. I didn't see any spooks. I didn't know what to make of those who did. I liked the movie The Sixth Sense, but as a movie, I didn't want spirits showing up and talking to me.
Right. So now what is he saying over here? Whatever you are thinking about, whatever you are focusing your attention on, that is what is going to manifest in your life. Now, when he said in the last paragraph, for 15 bits and 15 million bits, what was that meaning? That there is a lot going on that we don't understand. And what do we become aware of? That which we focus our attention on the 15 bits or the 40 bits of information, right? Now, if we focus our attention on something, that is what will manifest. So if they are talking about dead people, then that is what is going to manifest in your life. So now what are you thinking? What are you focusing your attention on? Now that becomes extremely, extremely important, because that is what you're going to attract in your life. So be very clear about what you want to attract in your life. If you want depleting stuff to come in, focus on that. Keep cribbing, keep saying, I can't, I won't, I will not. Okay. Once you start saying, I can, I will, that's what will manifest in your life. When you say, I can't, I won't, that is what is going to manifest in your life, because that is what you're thinking, right? So you have to have clarity as to what you want to attract into your life. So be aware of your thoughts. So Sixth Sense was actually a movie in which this guy is dead. He doesn't know that he is dead. And the boy who's seeing him doesn't also know that he is dead. But actually, he is dead. That comes out at the end of the movie.
It's a worth seeing movie.
Yeah. Sixth Sense is a good movie.
But you've given away the punchline only now.
You've given the secret out already.
But you can still see the movie. Don't worry.
Apparently, this is normal for Dr. Hewlin, however. He told the story of working at the mental hospital and hearing toilets flush at midnight all by themselves. The place was filled with spirits, he said. Many patients died in the ward in previous years, but didn't know they were dead. They were still there. Still there using the bathroom? Apparently so.
So now what is this, right? These people, they are dead. They don't know that they are dead. So in Monroe terminology, they are stuck in focus 22 and 23, right? Now there was a scene in Harry Potter also, where that spirit was there and she used to live in the bathroom. So you will find that these spirits are always there. And people who are stuck and not transcended will create poltergeist issues. They will not let something work in a certain space. Everything goes bad in that space. I've experienced many of such places. Especially this happens when there's a battlefield, when many people have suffered and died, or there's a pandemic and many people have died in that space. This was the reason that in olden times, when you went to hospitals, people used to tell you, I remember my grandmother telling me, if you've gone to a hospital, once you come back, please have a shower. If you've gone to a crematorium, please come back and have a shower. What is the reason for that? That the energies are there. The spirits are there in these places who have not transcended. So they get stuck over there. And in the Lifeline program, I think it's a beautiful program where we do soul retrieval, etc. It's so empowering and so amazingly powerful. It is not funny. You actually get to understand and know that, yes, we can raise our consciousness level so that we can interact in a very, very safe and very effective manner.
But if that weren't odd enough, Dr. Hewlin went on to explain that if you ever talk to someone and notice their eyes are almost all white with a cloudy film around the edges, then they are possessed. Don't even try to talk to them, he advised. Instead, just clean yourself and hope your clearing will remove the darkness taking them over.
So they say that the eyes are the doorways to the soul. Okay. So when certain things happen, you can actually see a shift in the eyes. And you will find that, when you look at the eyes of a highly spiritual person, you will find they remain still. They don't move around too much. But when you see the eyes of a person who's shifting around too much, be sure that there is something going on. And what he's saying over here, a glaze comes over the eyes. And also there is something, see, now I don't want to shock you all, okay? But in shamanism, there is a process which is called spirit possession. And let me tell you, all of us have partial possession in us. All of us have it, whether we like it or not. It is like that multiple personality syndrome that is there, where in one body, many entities live. Now, if one entity comes who has diabetes, you'll test the blood, you'll find the blood has blood sugar. Now, if another entity takes over, you will test the blood, you'll find there is no blood sugar. And this has actually been seen in people, okay? This is not something that I'm just talking. This has actually been seen in people. Now, there is a partial amount of possession in all of us. Whichever entity is occupying more than 50% of the space in our conscious awareness is what we will be active with, right? So many times you will find someone stops behaving like they normally behave. So what is happening? There is an overlap. An overlap starts to take place. Now, in our normal sense, we would not like to engage with this kind of a thing because it is not, our systems may not be capable of handling that pressure or handling that load. Okay. So as much as possible, we need to clear ourselves of this load, right? If you want to see, I'll show you some aura photographs. Let's see if I can pick it up. You'll see that how this possession also takes up. Many people have already seen it. But let me show it to you. Just hang on. Let me figure out where can I find it.
Bhaiya, can I ask you one thing?
Yeah, please ask whether in the meantime.
Bhaiya, that means what you are saying, that entities keep coming and going, coming and going. Because
Absolutely.
you said as long as you are more than 50%, you may not even realize there's
Correct.
anything.
Absolutely.
But which one gets stuck to you and becomes more than 50%,
yeah,
you don't know.
Absolutely.
But that means all the time, something or the other different is also coming towards you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh sorry. Now, yeah.
Okay, Jurmana.
जी के बहुत जुर्माना हो गया
नहीं अरे बहुत मुश्किल से जुर्माना मिल रहा है भाई, अब क्यों छोड़े भाई?
हाँ एकदम.
Just one second.
Hey, I have a question here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You are muted, Manjula Bhabi. Unmute.
1 minute. Yeah. If we remove these entities, suppose we have 5-6 entities with us who's helping us also, and who plays different character different times in the body, it is there. अगर हम उस entities को हटा ही दें through techniques which you know,
correct,
what will happen?
So clarity starts coming.
We'll be ourselves totally.
Yeah, so we are actually not ourselves, right?
Oh my God.
Shivamla,
do you mean all the time we are not? Do you mean all the time we are not ourselves?
Absolutely. We are partially not ourselves, our true self. So can you all see the picture over here? Can you all see the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So now see, this is like, here the entity is coming into your system. Here the entity has come into the system. Here is taken over. Have you seen this? Like 3 guys are standing over here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a picture of nazar lag jata hai jab entity is coming and cutting into the system. Okay, the only thing that I've seen work with this one is 24/7. You got to hear Waves of Love, the meditation we did yesterday or day before yesterday. That's the only thing I've found till now to work with this one.
So you have to keep saying, I love you, I love you.
No. I'm saying this one, I don't think it'll go by saying one way, I love you. It's not going to. I love you will help, but I don't think it's going to go away with I love you.
How do you remove
But
it?
yeah, but if you can become positive, then it will go.
Yeah. So you have to really be feeling it, na? नहीं तो वो नहीं जाएगा इतना easily.
So is it something similar to possessing? What we said,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Niket, I'm sorry, I'm talking out of turn. तुम रेनू जी को scare मत करो, please.
No, I'm wanting to scare her so that she makes a. No, not the pulling your leg. But these things actually happen. I'm talking from personal experience. I'm not just talking of my rockers. I've actually experienced all this stuff. So it actually happens.
Niket, can I share something now
Yeah,
that
go
you're
ahead.
talking?
Go ahead.
So yesterday morning at about 11ish, all of a sudden I started feeling very unwell. I don't know what happened. I could not attend my Gita class. I was talking to Sri Mangla. Even book reading, I had my video off and I was feeling very, very weird. And then you did Waves of Love. Okay. After doing that meditation, I was totally fine.
Yeah. So Waves of Love actually.
So something could have, must have something happened. It was like nothing had happened. I just started feeling weird all of a sudden.
Yeah. Waves of Love is very powerful. For
Yeah.
this. It's my go-to. Yes, Anjali, can we see you? Yeah, go ahead. You have to unmute.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so all this is sounding a little eerie to me, but I cannot understand that these entities, why can't they find their own bodies and stay with them first? Secondly, that if we die, we also become entities?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Are you your body?
Well, a part of me is body.
Yeah. So now when you sleep, a part of you is body, but when you sleep, okay, are you aware of your body?
No.
So then are you your body?
No, that time I'm certainly not.
So where are you then?
That time I think I'm just me, maybe the soul part of it.
Exactly. So these guys are also me and they don't have a body.
So they're just kind of flittering about.
Always.
Okay. Okay.
They're always there, let me tell you. It's just that you're not aware of them. Yes, Anaga? I think we've taken this topic into a different...
How do we protect ourselves from them? Is there a way to...
Watch your thoughts. Keep your energy field up. Become more powerful. Then they can't walk into you. If you are powerful, they can't affect you. When we become weak, that is when all these things happen. Okay, so
become
power up.
Can I say?
One second. Anaga is
to become?
One second. Hold on. Anaga, you are saying something?
Yes, I was asking how to become powerful.
What do you think we are doing by
meditation?
understanding all these things, attending these programs, getting into various processes, heart focus breathing, reball, F12, F10, resonant tuning, all these stuff. What are we doing? We are making ourselves more powerful. That's what we are doing. Okay. Renuji, you have a question?
Yeah, but yeah, that means people who are depressed and things like that, it could be also that they have got entities who have made them depressed, because we always think it's an incident that's happened.
It's a chicken and egg story. Okay. At times, there may be an effect which is causing the person to get depressed. And at times the person is depressed and then because when a depressed person is there, all the systems are down. Weakness is there. The energy field opens up and then they can come into you. So it works both ways.
And what about if somebody is ill?
So when you're ill, again, you're vulnerable.
Okay. So
your
you need-
immunity is down, right? Your systems are down, you're weak. So at that time also you're weak. So that's why you need to be careful when you're sick.
Are they with you all the time or they come and go?
They are there all the time.
So can taking a salt water bath protect your aura?
Salt water, salt absorbs, depleting vibrations. But that's all that it does. Nothing more than that. I find kapoor more powerful than salt.
How
Camphor.
Kapoor?
Camphor is ephemeris, right? When you
I know,
have
I know.
salt,
How do you use that? How do you use it?
you can use it to clean your house. You can use it to, crush it and put it in your, like you're using salt, you use kapoor.
Or just leave it around.
Yeah,
That love.
leaving around won't work. Anyway, that's a separate topic. Now let's.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, can I just tell about kapoor? They say even these days during COVID time, if you have a bowl of kapoor lying in the house, it helps.
Yeah, it's very cleansing. Right, Manjula Bhabhi, you have something to say or add?
Just one question. How will I come to know? Like it's an entity sometimes, because many times I feel that day also I told you long back, somebody every time touching on the left side of my hair till here. So is it an entity who is giving me a message, or an angel, or my forefathers, or somebody? How will I come to know? I have always a
You
question.
have to figure out what it makes
I
you
always
feel.
say thank you when I feel this on the left side.
So bas, then it's uplifting. What's the problem?
Uplifting. And when I'm in a sad mood or a little stressed out, at that time only I can feel this thing.
Yeah, so then they've come to bless you, to help you, support you. Perfectly okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Shimangla, you're on. Okay, so apologies that the topic went off in a totally different direction. Anyway.
But if that weren't odd enough, Dr. Hewlin went on to explain that if you ever talk to someone and notice their eyes are almost all white, with a cloudy film around the edges, then they are possessed. Don't even try to talk to them, he advised. Instead, just clean yourself and hope your clearing will remove the darkness taking them over. I'm a pretty open-minded guy, but this talk of spirits and possessed souls and ghosts who use the toilet at night was a bit much for even me. Still, I hung in there. I wanted to know the ultimate secrets to healing so I could help myself and others to wealth, health, and happiness. I just never expected I'd have to walk through the invisible world and enter the twilight zone to get there. At another point in the event, we were lying on the floor doing exercises to open the energy in our bodies. Dr. Hewlin called me to him. When I look at this person, I see all the starvation in Sri Lanka, he told me. I looked at her, but only saw a woman stretching on a carpet. We have so much to clean, Dr. Hewlin said. Despite my confusion,
So what is he saying over here, right? That to get into that expanded state, we cannot get there without actually observing something that we cannot observe from our normal conscious mind to get into that expanded state. So you have to walk through that expansion to get to that state, which is a given. And I like the Monroe process. Why? Because it is very, very structured. It takes you in a very structured way into these expanded states. And the other thing over here, he says, when I look at this person, I see all the starvation in Sri Lanka. What does he mean by that? That when that lady came into his perception, whatever was in her, he started perceiving in his field. And then he says that this has now come into my perception. Now I have a lot to clean because it has come into my perception. Now I am 100% responsible. I have to clean it. So there is a lot to clean. Okay. So that's why we should, and this was said by our older generation also, that be aware of what you are seeing. What are you doing? What are you thinking? When a lady was pregnant, we used to tell them, read good books. Don't look at, violent things. Read educational things, uplifting things. Why? Because that was the field that you were creating for your child. Okay, eat sattvic food, eat great food, which is nourishing for you because you're nourishing the child. So whatever you're eating is going to the child. What you're thinking is going to the child. What you're seeing is going to the child. So be aware of all that you're doing. That was the reason that the pregnant lady was revered. She was actually revered in most of the ancient cultures. And let me tell you one thing else. When you look at it from the biogeometrical system, a pregnant lady is automatically generating sacred energy. They call it BG3, biogeometry 3. She's automatically radiating that. That's why you'll find in all cultures, literally, the pregnant lady was kind of revered. Okay.
Despite my confusion, I did my best to practice what I understood. The easiest thing to do was simply say, I love you all the time. So I did. When I went to the bathroom one evening, I felt the beginning of a urinary tract infection. I said, I love you to the divine while sensing the infection. I soon forgot about it, and by morning it was gone. I continued to say, I love you mentally, repeatedly, no matter what was happening, good, bad, or different. I was trying to do my best to clean anything in the moment, whether I was aware of it or not. Let me give you a quick example of how this works.
So what was he doing? As soon as he's really connecting with that statement, I love you, which side of the grid he is in? He's automatically on the right side of the grid. So everything starts to work, everything starts to manifest, and everything simply happens when he's in that state of consciousness.
One day, someone sent me an email that upset me. In the past, I would handle it by working on my emotional hot buttons or by trying to reason with the person who sent the nasty message. This time, I decided to try Dr. Hewlin's method. I kept silently saying, I'm sorry and I love you. I didn't say it to anyone in particular. I was simply evoking the spirit of love to heal within me what was creating or attracting the outer circumstance. Within an hour, I got another email from the same person. He apologized for his previous message.
Okay, so now what was happening over here? Basically, what happens when we receive a mail or something like that, and it upsets us, it puts us on the left side of the grid. Now, if we start operating and doing things from the left side of the grid, we are going to enhance the problem. We are not going to sort out the problem. So what did he do over here? He put a strategy in place, which is what we are constantly talking about, that if you're on the left side of the grid, put a strategy in place which will get you onto the right side of the grid. Over here, he used the strategy saying, I am sorry, I love you, to that effect, which was he was feeling in his own field. And the moment he did that, he got another email saying that I am sorry. So the other person also felt that frequency, that energy shift, and he also turned.
Keep in mind, I didn't take any outward action to get that apology. I didn't even write him back. Yet, by saying I love you, I somehow healed within me the limiting hidden program that we were both participating in.
So very clearly, what is happening here? that vibration or that tremor which is being caused is affecting the other person as well as me. The moment I clear that, I apologize to it, I say that I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, divinity takes over, and then thank you, right? So the thing gets cleared up and the problem gets solved. Again, trust, allowing becomes extremely important because this stuff is all wishy-washy. Now, let me tell you, the more you start operating in focus 10 and focus 12, you will find, again, I'm repeating, things will start to happen. You don't have to make them happen. You just have to say yes to whatever comes into your field. And believe me when I tell you this, it will work. It automatically starts to work. When we bring our normal conscious mind into the game, that is when the jhamela starts. Because this guy knows very little. As he very clearly said over here, 15 bits and 15 million bits. So the more we get into allowing, the better off we will automatically become.
Doing this process doesn't always mean instant results. The idea isn't to achieve results, but to achieve peace. When you do that, you often get the results you wanted in the first place.
Now, this is very beautifully said, right? Again, like when people started sending the reball, they were getting instant results. And then the ego kicked in that I am powerful, I can sort out any problem. And that's when they fell flat in their face. So in these processes, in all these spiritual processes which are taking you into expanded states, we have to trust that whatever is happening for the best. The moment we start accepting that, that is when the magic will start happening. You create peace within yourself. And when you operate from that centered state of peace and calm, whatever you want will start to happen. This is what the sages, ancient sages used to do. Whatever they said, manifested. Why? Because they were listening to divinity, to the universal energies. And naturally, if I listen to someone, they will also listen to me. If I don't listen to someone, they will not listen to me. So anything that these sages uttered from their mind, it became what divinity also wanted. So it used to start manifesting. This is what we want to bring into ourselves, that state of centeredness, that state of calm. And when we operate from there, everything will happen.
For example, one day, one of my employees disappeared on me. He was supposed to get some work done on an important project with an urgent deadline. Not only did he not finish, but he seemed to vanish from the planet. I didn't take this very well, though by then I knew about Dr. Hewlin's method. I found it hard to say I love you when all I wanted to say was, I want to kill you. Whenever I thought of my employee, I felt rage. Still, I kept saying, I love you and please forgive me and I am sorry. I wasn't saying it to anyone. I was saying it to say it. I certainly didn't feel love. In truth, it took me 3 days of doing this process before I got anywhere near a point of peace within myself.
So now this becomes important. Okay. When we start doing any kind of spiritual practice, first you need to apply it. You need to make it muscle memory so that it kicks in when the stressful time is there. If you think that you're going to learn a technique and you're going to use it only when you are in that stressful or that, amazingly panicked up time, it is really not going to happen. You have to make it muscle memory. You have to use it all the time, right? And then, of course, when someone is hurting us, we are all human and we have to transcend that. We have to slowly stop anything which is creating tremors in our lives, not allow them Manikya. They should not be able to at all ruffle our feathers or get under our skin. So that is the state of consciousness that we want to actually achieve. So naturally it took him 3 days of practice to actually get out of it. Yes, Mukul Bhabi?
So I was just wondering that if you don't feel something, can you really achieve? I mean, like when he says, I love you, he was feeling rage within himself. I mean, I always, whenever I'm doing all these processes, I always feel I need to bring that feeling of love within me or the feeling of compassion within me and then say it. Otherwise, it won't really affect.
Absolutely. So when you're saying, I love you, I am sorry, you have to mean it. You have to mean that you're sorry about it. You have to mean that you are asking for forgiveness. You have to mean that you're saying, I love you. You have to mean I'm saying thank you. Just by saying the words is not going to work. Then it's a rote.
Yeah, so that's why it took him 3 days.
Naturally, na. So to clear that field, that rage that he was feeling against that employee, and he was not yet there, right? The moment you start becoming there, then whatever may be happening outside you, it's not going to ruffle your your feathers. Okay. A certain amount of acceptance starts to come in. That okay, ye hua hai, this is meant to happen. Now, what do I need to learn from this? What is the message that I'm getting? What do I need to comprehend from this? What is the opportunity this thing is throwing up to me? Now, COVID happened, right? Now we were having meditations. We couldn't have physical meditation. Now what to do? It threw up an opportunity, right? So you can treat anything that is happening to you as a threat, or you can treat it as an opportunity. So what are you treating it as? That is what the name of the game is, right? What are you treating whatever is happening to you as? Are you operating from the left side of the grid or the right side of the grid? This grid business is so powerful.
So important.
It's not funny. The moment you realize where you're like now, just now in this example, where was he operating from? He was operating from the left side. Okay. Now he was putting a strategy in place to put him on the right side, but it was not working. Because until you allow yourself to move from the left to the right, it's not going to happen. Nothing is going to take you by the gheti and pull you there. You have to pull yourself there.
Yes.
So when you change your mindset about it, that okay, now this employee is disappeared. Now something may have happened to him. He may have gone into an accident. He may have got lost somewhere. Someone may have kidnapped him. So something may have happened to him. Now, if you start operating in that method, that okay, now let me go and look for him as to he may be in trouble, right? So now where are you? You're on the right side, not on the left side. But where was he operating from? He was operating from the left side over here. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And that's when my employee surfaced. He was in prison. He called to ask for help. I gave it, and I continued to practice I love you as I dealt with him. While I didn't see instant results, my finding inner peace was enough of a result to make me happy. And somehow, at that point, my employee felt it too. That's when he asked a jailer to use the phone, and he called me. Once I had him on the phone, I was able to get the answers I needed to complete my urgent project.
So again, when you see this, the moment he was able to shift onto the right side of the grid by using I love you, that is when the magic happened and the employee ultimately contacted him. So again and again, I'm repeating what I'm seeing over and over again is that no manifestation will take place on the left side of the grid. If you want things to happen in your life, get on the right side of the grid. Very simple, very straight. I mean, what I'm seeing is that this left side, right side business, any kind of gyan that you have, any kind of philosophy that you have, it all can be boiled down to these two things. Where are you operating from? Very simple and very straight. Okay, so let's stop here today. Anyone, anything to say or share?